A huge downpour continued for 2 million years, perhaps the most chaotic cleansing event in the 4,600,000,000 years of Earth's history. The severe climate led to the extinction of many species. Extinction, and directly put the dinosaurs on the throne as Earth's rulers. This was the terrifying Carnian Pluvial Event, also known as the dinosaurs' dreadful maturation period number 2. 300 million years ago, a super volcano burst, tearing the sky. Hot acid rain poured down, turning deserts to swamps instantly. The dry Pangaea continent became a suffocating, hot and wet area. The formerly arrogant supreme underdogs perished in batches because they failed to adapt to the shifting environmental climate. But no one expected that this seemingly world-destroying disaster was actually a backdoor opened by God for the dinosaurs. That early dinosaur, which was only the size of a dog and could only serve as a snack for others, managed to survive this great rain thanks to its special physical structure. It can be said that without this downpour that lasted for 2 million years, the dinosaurs might have forever remained just a group of creatures in the mud. The little lizard never stood a chance to rule the earth. It's almost like a meticulously planned cleansing rain, washing away the old world just to put monsters on the altar. But doesn't that sound too much like science fiction? How could rain last for 2 million years, and why did the dinosaurs specifically win in the rain? Don't rush. Let's violently rewind the timeline back to the Triassic period, 230 million years ago. Let's see what terrible things happened on Earth during that ancient time. The Earth back then looked completely different from today. If you traveled back, the first thing you'd see wouldn't be a blue planet, but a giant red donut. The 7 continents hadn't split apart yet. They were tightly clustered into one supercontinent, the legendary Pangaea. But this landmass was practically a forbidden zone for life because the land area was simply too vast. The sea breeze carrying moisture couldn't penetrate the interior, so the center of Pangaea. It was the most terrifying super desert in Earth's history. Back then, the Earth had no lush green trees, only endless red sand and despairing drought. The temperature was so high that it scorched the surface, hot enough to cook an egg. In such a cruel, hellish mode, who could survive? It wasn't the dinosaurs. Dinosaurs back then were as humble as stray dogs today, small in stature, lowly, surviving in the cracks. The world was ruled by creatures like crocodiles, but with tank-like temperaments like the Pachycephalosaurus running around aimlessly. These dominant species had developed specialized adaptations to cope with the drought. They required very little water and could even subsist on those hard, desiccated plants that were as hard as stones and low to the ground. They thought this dry period would last until the end of time. But unfortunately, Earth's temperament never plays by the rules. Around 2.34 billion years ago, in what is now Western Canada, a region then known as Laurentia, a horrifying incident transpired. A huge crack has opened. This is not a normal eruption, but the Earth's main artery bleeding. Hot magma isn't just shooting out, it's pouring out like a flood. This eruption lasted on and off for 5 million years. Can you fathom it? Over millions of years, untold amounts of carbon dioxide were shoved into the air, instantly cloaking the Earth in a thick blanket. The greenhouse effect flared up, raising temperatures 4 to 7 degrees Celsius. A key physics point: hotter air holds more water. So the oceans evaporated rapidly, creating huge water vapor clouds in the sky. The atmosphere became like a high-pressure steam cooker ready to burst. Finally, the limit was broken and the Carnian Pluvial Event started. Dry, smoky Pangaea suddenly got its first drop of rain, then the second, then the third, a downpour with fierce winds. This isn't like the rain we hear by the window. It wasn't a romantic drizzle, but scalding, acidic rainwater. Sulfur compounds in the volcanic ash mixed with the rain, turning it into sulfuric acid. This acid rain poured down, and the oceans were the first to suffer. Seawater acidified, countless shellfish and algae instantly dissolved, and the marine ecosystem completely collapsed. On land, the situation was even stranger. Deserts turned into mud pits, and low-lying areas became lakes. Inland areas that hadn't seen water for tens of millions of years suddenly experienced massive floods. This humid, stifling environment killed drought-resistant plants, but unexpectedly became a paradise for another type of organism, fungi and ferns. More importantly, an entirely new plant family began to grow wildly and aggressively. The gymnosperms, the ancestors of today's pines and cypresses. This was the turning point for the dominant species of that era, the pterosaurs. These tall gymnosperms were a nightmare for them. The trees were too high to reach the leaves, and they were hard and sharp. This was the turning point. The former rulers, who were used to easily digestible food, were utterly bewildered by this sudden shift in diet. Their teeth were ruined, their digestive systems failed, and during the prolonged starvation, those once mighty giants collapsed in droves, ultimately leading to their extinction. The old era has passed. A new one must rise. Who could manage to eat these tough, tall plants? Who could sprint so quickly in this humid, muddy environment? Attention shifted entirely to the dinosaurs. Unbeknownst to many, dinosaurs harbored three cutting-edge technological advantages that enabled their comeback during this 2-million-year period of relentless reign. First, their superior respiratory system, featuring an avian-like air sac structure. While other creatures gasped for air in the hot, oxygen-poor atmosphere, dinosaurs efficiently absorbed oxygen, granting them boundless energy and agility, making them the speed demons of the jungle. Second, their upright, two-legged stance. Consider the previous dominant species, such as crocodiles. Their legs were not structured for upright walking. Crawling creatures with legs growing out from the sides of their bodies dragged their bellies slowly and laboriously along the ground, whereas dinosaurs had their legs growing directly beneath their bodies. This was like upgrading from a slow crawl to a 100-meter dash. The third piece of black technology, astonishing growth speed. In that chaotic era, the only rule for survival was to grow up fast. Dinosaurs grew at an astonishing rate, transforming from tiny specks into giants in just a few years, quickly escaping the danger period of being preyed upon. So during this 2-million-year rainy season, while other species were wailing and going extinct, dinosaurs were celebrating. They not only survived, but began a crazy version upgrade. Sauropods, in order to digest rough fibers, grew larger and larger, evolving into long-necked giants like the Brontosaurus. And to hunt these behemoths, carnivorous dinosaurs also evolved, developing sharper teeth and greater intelligence, eventually giving rise to top predators like the Tyrannosaurus. When the rain finally stopped and the clouds dispersed, allowing sunlight to once again bathe the Pangaea continent, the clouds dispersed, the world has changed. The age of the evil races and the gray-headed dragons is washed clean by the rain. Everything you see running on the land or hiding in the forest is dinosaur shadows. From this moment, Earth officially enters the 1.600 million year dinosaur era. History is surprisingly similar. 2.300 million years ago, a volcanic eruption and climate shift could pull the Earth's overlords down and install new rulers. The dinosaurs won that. Great rain and ruled the Earth for over 100 million years. But 6,600,000 years ago, they lost to another small asteroid. So you will find a cruel yet true pattern. On this planet, there is no eternal overlord, only eternal change. What truly determines destiny is never the disaster itself, but whether you can keep up with the pace of change. The pace.